Good day, Junior Techies, and welcome to this video on determining blood groups. This is one video in a series of videos that deal with our understanding of genetics. You would have by now gone through your theory booklet, as I do assume that there is a basic understanding of this concept. Over here you're going to see a table of the listed phenotypic blood groups that we do get. Blood group AB, and O, and then the allelic pairings that would result in the specific phenotype. So the first one we have blood group A, and blood group A is determined by the allelic pairing of I dominant A. So here we have a homozygous pairing or a heterozygous pairing with the recessive allele for blood group O. This is an example of complete dominance along with blood group B, where we have the homozygous pairing of blood group B or in the heterozygous condition, both resulting in blood group B. Same, this also is an example of complete dominance. Understanding blood groups is an extremely important concept for us because it is an example of both complete and codominance. If we're looking at blood group O, we have the homozygous pairing of the recessive alleles, and then lastly blood group AB, where we have the allelic pairing of AB, the example of codominance of these two alleles, giving us the phenotypic expression of both blood groups A and B. If we're looking at these examples above, and we consider paternity, there are some combinations of these alleles where we are able to have a look at paternity and understand that, in some cases where parents have differing blood groups, the resulting phenotypes in offspring are quite unique. And having a look at this, we would then see for whether or not these blood groups of the offspring are actually a result of the parental genotypes that result in or occur in the different gametes. So if we're having a look at a mom with blood group O and a dad with blood group B, what could be the possible phenotypic outcomes of the offspring? If we have a look at blood group O being a combination of the two recessive alleles, and dad having blood group B and the possible combinations within his genotypes, we would see that in an offspring or for an offspring, there is absolutely no possibility of blood groups A, B, or blood group A in this scenario. Here's a nice example for us to analyze. If we're having a look here we have a Mr. and Mrs. Fenella, and they're concerned that their baby girl doesn't appear to resemble either of them. They suspect that the baby they were given at the hospital was not theirs. Mr. Fenella is blood group type AB, and Mrs. Fenella is blood group type B. So these are their phenotypic expressions of the possible genotypes that they carry. The baby that they were given is blood type O. Now analyze this for a second before we continue. It's always good to write down what the scenario that we are given is, just to make sense of it for ourselves. And here we can see that Mrs. Fenella being blood group B is the possible combinations of the alleles being jotted down. If the baby is carrying the homozygous recessive pairing, we can see that Mrs. Fenella could very well have donated the recessive allele that could be part of her heterozygous condition for blood group B to the baby, but Mr. Fenella being blood group AB is not able to pass down this recessive allele as he's not carrying it. This would give us an indication that it's very possible this baby does not belong to Mr. Fenella. We would do this or we would prove this through a genetic cross. Now you'll see the format in front of you now. This is a very unique format, and it is going to be the format that we are going to be using for each of the genetic crosses that we're going to be doing in our examples. The expectation in your final exam is that you use this format, as it is going to be giving you the most possible marks for the question that you are answering. So in this scenario, we're going to be writing in the phenotypic expressions for our blood groups, and then we're going to write down the possible genotypes here. Now you'll see that the genotype for Mr. Fenella being AB, we only have one possibility for the genotype, which is the heterozygous condition AB. If we look at Mrs. Fenella, we would say that the most possible expression of her blood group B would be in the heterozygous condition, because they do have a baby that is blood group O, so we're going to be using the heterozygous condition for her blood group B. So here we have blood group AB and blood group B. We're going to be taking the gametes once we've separated them, and we're going to be placing them into the genetic cross. We're going to be completing our genetic cross to show all of the possible combinations for Mr. and Mrs. Fenella. So you'll see by writing in this expression, or these allelic combinations in our genetic cross, we get the possibilities that may result after fertilization from the gametes produced with each of these parents. Here we'll see that there is a possible 4 different types of genotypic pairings, and let's have a look at what they look like here. So we have one instance where we have a heterozygous AB that would result in the phenotypic expression AB. We have one homozygous blood group B. We have one heterozygous blood group A and one heterozygous blood group B when it comes to the genotypic combinations, and this gives us the percentage chance for each, or for the offspring, in having the different phenotypic blood groups. There's 50% chance that the offspring has a blood group B, 25% chance blood group A, and 25% chance blood group AB. Nowhere do we see the expression or the phenotypic expression of blood group O. This means that the child or the baby that they were given at the hospital was most likely not their baby. The example that we've just completed is an example that is very common that you get in your matric exams. This is just, however, one application of our understanding of blood groups. The more you practice these questions, the better you are going to get at answering them. I wish you the best of luck in your understanding of blood groups.